2 days ago when I left Asheville, it was 12 degrees. And this morning when I got in the car to come here, I realized I didn't have any socks on, and my feet were warm. I was like, wow, so different. But then as I was driving in, I was noticing people walking along the beach there, and they were wearing Uggs and sweatshirts. I was like, wow, it's like I've really kind of assimilated very quickly to the colder weather. It was very humbling driving down here, even though it's 4 months after Irma, to see the change in the landscape, to see the shifting sands and the trees missing, the tarps on the houses, the businesses closed, and I wept coming down, thinking of the stress and the difficulty that so many of you and so many of our community have gone through during this time. And then as I was driving, I realized that everything I was looking at was green. So I thought, wow, the earth is renewing itself as we are. So that led me to thinking, wow, what a perfect time to do the White Stone ceremony as the earth is renewing, as we are renewing. So I know last week, if you were here, you did the Burning Bowl ceremony where you wrote letters and you gave some thought to what you wanted to release, what you wanted to let go, how to let go of this past year and all of its drama and all of its joys, and just to put it aside. And even if you weren't here, I think that the new year does that to all of us, right? At the end of the year, all of us have this, it's the end of this year, and the first of the next year is some sort of a new beginning or an opportunity to have a new beginning. And I think that's kind of common to all of us. The White Stone ceremony itself, which we're going to be doing today, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the ceremony and its background and what to expect, and then we're going to sing a little chant to kind of center ourselves and prepare ourselves and go into the meditation, which is literally the ceremony. So just have the stone close by, and I'll let you know what to do when. You don't have to worry about it, and you won't actually write on the stone till after the meditation. So don't worry about it. And I wanted to say don't worry about the word, because one of the things about the White Stone ceremony is coming up with your word, which you write on the stone. And I know in the past I've thought, what if I don't hear the right word? So there's no wrong word. Maybe there's not going to be some screaming voice shouting at you some word, Maybe it's not going to be the thought or word that you expect it to be, and just know that there's no wrong word. If it comes to you, it's yours. This past week, as I was thinking about doing this White Stone ceremony, in my own morning meditation, I started thinking, okay, what would it be like today to come up with the word, right? What's that like? What does that feel like? So I would sit and in my meditation, I'd try and open up, and I did this for a couple of weeks, and the words were different. One word came to me more than once, but it was different, and I realized that the words are all a part of our evolving story. So every word that sort of just comes to you or comes up in your mind is a part of your evolving story, and maybe the word that just comes to you at this moment, and that's fine. And maybe later or in another time, another word will come. The White Stone ceremony, which a lot of the Unity churches do here, like the first week of the year, doesn't just have to be done at the first of the year. You could do it at any new undertaking in your life. You could do it at your birthday. You could do it when you move back into your house. You can do it when you start a new job, when you're looking at a new phase of your life, when you have a new child or grandchild. Any time that you feel that there's a new beginning in your life, this white stone meditation could be a really wonderful part of your practice. So I encourage you to not see it as a once-in-a-year thing, but something that you can take with you whenever you'd like to use it. Just a couple of minutes ago, I was sitting in the office and I picked up this folder that told the actual history of why we have these white stones, which in all honesty I didn't know, and perhaps you don't, that this man whose name is Sam, I think his name is Sam. So this young man in Jerusalem, Sam, met this young woman from Kansas City who came visiting to Jerusalem with her synagogue and formed a relationship, and he eventually came to Kansas City. He had surgery on his neck. He had some serious surgery. When he left Jerusalem, he had just grabbed a stone, like sometimes we'll take some sand in our shoes, or you'll take a rock or a memento from a place you've left. So he had just taken like a piece of rock from Jerusalem. And as he was recovering from his surgery, it was during the time in the news where there was a lot of rock throwing between the Israelis and the Palestinians in Jerusalem. And he was pretty much on his back recovering for almost 2 years. And he thought to himself, the stone that I carried back doesn't mean war or strife or anger to me. It means a part of my home, a part of my inner spiritual life. And I want to bring this feeling of this stone to other people. So he and his wife, I think her name was Hannah, went on a trip to Jerusalem, and they went to, I think it's Hebron, to a quarry, and made a relationship with a quarry there, and started a company. It's a family business of the White Stone, I don't know what the name, Jerusalem Stone Company, and that's where these little stones come from. And it's a beautiful thing that he wrote about it. It's they work directly with the quarries, both Israeli and Palestinian alike. They believe in functioning together, thinking differently, building relationships that protect Israel and improve the lives of all people living near its borders. They share the idea that friendship is a medicine of life. As a result, they provide the most beautiful and durable stones in the world to people, with the idea that to make the world a more beautiful place with these stones, that they wouldn't be an object of war, but an object of beauty. So I thought that was really interesting that we have a piece of that with us. So the actual ceremony is based on a scripture verse from Revelations, which I admit I don't know by heart. Why would I? And the scripture says, "Let anyone who has an ear listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches. To everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it." So, because this is a translation from the Aramaic, the language is a little stilted for our modern days, so there's been a lot of interpretation of this. To let anyone who has an ear listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches. The church is the place where God lives. You are the church. I am the church. The Spirit and God live within you. And this invites you to listen to what is already inside of you. To everyone who conquers or overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna. So some of the food, some of the breath of life, some of the energy, some of what feeds us, right? And I will give a white stone, and on that white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. Now, in that time, white stones were given to prisoners when they were released from jail as a symbol of freedom, as a vote yes in courts of law. And the white stone is just a symbol for you of freedom and new beginning. Only you will know your word, because when you listen to your inner God, to your inner spirit, the way that you communicate with spirit is unique. The way inside of you that you perceive this whole not material world is particularly unique, even though we gather here in this service with a sort of a guidepost and a way and some ideas. Still, the moments of silence you have with yourself are particularly unique. And the things that will come to you in your deepest honesty is your spiritual work. The thing about honesty, so listening to yourself and being super honest with what you hear, so that you can find that place and evolve from there. And different themes and different ways keep coming back to us as we work on these things. And I think we're all here today because we're all seekers and we want to strengthen that part of us. So to this end, we're going to soon start the actual meditation. And if for some reason you didn't get a white stone and a pencil, would you raise your hand? And Jack is coming around and he'll see that you get one. Yeah. So I think right now we'll sing a song to get into this space of it. So you can stay seated, but please join us and take this as a moment to just let go of everything else you walked in the door with. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. So just quietly close your eyes. Make yourself comfortable in your chair. Take the white stone and just put it in your hand. You're not going to do anything with it, but just hold it. Feel the chair that you're sitting in. Feel your feet on the ground. The texture of whatever you're touching, the stone, your hands. Let your shoulders release. Let your forehead release. Your eyes release. Your jaw release. Let your mind just wander. How do you feel right at this very moment? Touching base with how you feel right at this very, very moment. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And do that a few more times at your own rate. And I want you to just think about, who am I? Who am I right at this moment? Not what do I need to do or what did I do before. Everything you have done before just brought you here. It has no significance other than it existed. It brought you to this moment. In this moment, allow yourself to hear words. Allow yourself to hear things about yourself. Perhaps it will be things that you're currently addressing in your life. Perhaps it will be things you would like to see. And in this next bit of silence, just hold your stone and let whatever words come through you resonate through your whole body, not just your mind. Let the one that seems the most strongest, the most appropriate, perhaps it's a surprise. Let that resonate in your hands, in the silence. Allow yourself to come back to the room slowly. When you feel ready, wiggle your toes in your hands. Keep your gaze lowered as you open your eyes. Take your pencil and write whatever comes to you, whatever word seems most appropriate for you at this moment. Remember, it's not your ultimate word. It's one word in your ever-evolving story. This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the cavern of creation. It's the truth of you and me. This inner space, an eternity of time. It's the moment of the holy now and the allness that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. From deep within the invisible flows the living air I breathe. This inner space is flowing in my bones. It stirs my heart, stirs my mind, and every prayer I've ever known. And I say, breathe, just breathe, just breathe this peace. This inner space is the ocean of your soul. And when you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one to all. And though it would never push you, it will break down every wall. And I say, breathe, just breathe, breathe this peace. This inner space invites us to renew, and in my endless choosing, I become the chosen two. This inner space, it never knows the past. In a quiet place you can hear it, and it might just make you laugh. And I say, breathe, just breathe, breathe this inner space. This peace of this inner space.
Thank you, Melody. Thank you so much. Let's just take this feeling of contentment and peace and love and just see it going out, 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 enveloping our whole world. So thank you so much to everyone who has made this celebration the wonderful Sunday morning that it is, that it always is. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of your contributions. We have a prayer chaplain named Aaron Andes, and he's here this morning to pray with you if you would like after service in the little chapel in the back of our room. So we're grateful for Aaron. This is the time in our service when we get to practice the law of giving and receiving. When we get to put that